TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Memories of working with Andre the Giant.
Oh, those were great memories. Andre was not only a piece of talent that I worked with, but I also got to know him well. We have a couple things in common. We like good food. We like good wine. We like to play cribbage, and we like to play gin rummy. And you're spending a week or 10 days at a crack on the road with these guys. You're off time. What are you doing? You're drinking. You're eating. You're playing gin rummy and a little cribbage. Andre was a delight. He was a very sensitive guy. Nobody realizes this. I was in a plane coming from Denver, going to Minneapolis. He sat up in first class, and I sat in the back of the plane. He said, "Boss, you're sitting with me." He sat down. He ordered himself a Bloody Mary. It was an 8 a.m. flight, by the way. Had to have the eye opener.
Right.
And he said, people think that I have a great life, that I can travel all over and everything. But people, I know, I see them. When they point at me, little kids laugh and say, what kind of a man is he? He's very sensitive. He cried. I saw him cry. Mm. And Andre, if he liked you, you were in good shape. If he didn't like you, I wouldn't ask him for the time of day.
Right. That's what a lot of people
He'd give you a good answer. Bruiser Brody, to me, he was kind of an in and out guy in the AWA. That's the only place that I worked with him. And he had this reputation as being, a bit of a lone wolf, also a rabble rouser. He was the guy that went against the grain. Promoters weren't in love with him, but he had a thing in Japan that he could always fall back on. I saw him as a very talented guy, and he served a purpose where somebody could bring in these territories for the Crockett's, for Gagne, for Paul Bosch in Houston, even for Vince McMahon Sr. Up here on the East Coast. You could bring this guy in, have a good 6 or 8 week run with him, a couple of angles, and then he was off to the races.
Right.
After that, he got bored. He was gone. But truly a good hand. And he, like a Stan Hansen, never really working a territory, but was always there when you needed him. And he had a love-hate relationship with Gagne.
Right.
That. The only thing I really feel bad about is the sad demise of Bruiser Brody.
Right.
Much too early.
Who do you think was the toughest guy, maybe besides Andre the Giant? Who was maybe the most feared guy in the locker room?
Shoot guy?
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be Meng, King Haku. Yeah. He was a Samoan, Tongan, I believe, and he knew what he was doing. Nobody would mess with him. Saito also was the same, and there were a couple of other guys, but you'd be surprised. We won't mention any names of the big, rough, tough superstars that were really pussycats in reality.
Right.
Mr. Saito was great. I mean, the language. Vern always liked it. The Japanese switch the L's and R's off in their conversation, and Vern says, "Ask him how he likes his fish." He said, "How do you like your fish, cooked or raw?" And he would say, "Law." And Vern got off on it. So I mean, that was it. That was a question I had to ask him. But Saito was a great guy. I liked him. He got out and about in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and since that was our hometown, I got to see him socially, which was something that a lot of people didn't get a chance to see the other side as they do now today. But back then, wrestlers were very low profile, were not allowed to get in trouble. My God, if you got picked up at a toll booth with a joint in your ashtray, you wouldn't work in that town again, ever. I guarantee it.
Right. Did you see anyone ever crack due to the road schedule during this time period?
Did I see anybody crack?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw people. I'm lucky I didn't crack. I had to spend a little time on the couch with the guy in a white jacket.
Right.
But we made it through. No, it was grueling. San Diego, California, probably in 1986 or 87, in one day, I did 141 2-minute and 54-second, essentially 3-minute interviews. 141 in one day, standing on your feet, putting up with the boys being restless and everything. It was a tough deal, and there were times that you said, "Can I keep going on?" Well, you did.
Who would go over the bullet points with you for promos during this time?
I worked with a couple of different people. Howard Finkel, my favorite.
Right.
Howard drive you nuts, but on the other hand, he was only doing a job. The most colorful guy that I worked with on promos after he retired from the ring was Rene Goulet. And Rene, I remember when he came to this country, he spoke no English at all. And after a period of 25 years, hadn't improved that situation by much. But nonetheless, he was a good guy, enjoyed his company, and we got the job done, which was the name of the game.
TitleMatchNetwork.com